Hey everybody, welcome back. Monday Morning Briefing, episode number 84. It's Thursday, November the 17th. I told y'all we were going to have a video this past weekend about the Black Friday sale, but with a birthday party going on and we had people in town and stuff, we just didn't get in here in the shop and do that. So we're going to do that now. We've been really busy in the shop this week with a new product launch that went out to the newsletter. So if you're on the newsletter, you're aware of that. If you're on the newsletter and you didn't get the newsletter, you might check your spam folder and make sure that we're not going there in the garbage when we send you an email. But that's why we tell you all to be sure and be on the newsletter, because when we have something new or some information there or something, we're going to send it out to the newsletter first. But we'll get to that product in a minute. But I just want to go over, in this video, we're going to go over some of what's going to happen on the Black Friday weekend sale. That sale will begin Friday morning at midnight. So Thursday night, Thanksgiving Day, that night at midnight is when the sale will begin. And then it'll run through Monday and Cyber Monday at midnight. So basically 12 a.m. Monday night. Which would be Tuesday morning technically. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to run from Black Friday through Cyber Monday, and we're going to have a lot of good discounts on the website. We're going to, some of them, just a few of them. I'm not going to get into every single discount, because some of the products we're going to discount kind of individually based on what they are, because some of the things, used to was just digital patterns. We know our investment in those, we know what we can do on those, but when you get into material packs and different products and merchandise, things like that, we've actually got to do a little bit of math to make sure that we're okay, so that we can get more stuff later and keep this ball rolling here. But some of the discounts, like our older patterns, the printed patterns that we do, like the Buckhorn briefcase, the bifold wallet, the new clutch wallet, gunsling pattern, those patterns that we've already done either real early this year, or even previously, we're going to go ahead and mark those down. Those will be around 30% off on those. And then all of our older digital, the digital patterns, like our belt patterns and some of the older ones that we used to do, that you can print out on your own printer and things, many of those, or most of those, will be 50% off. We're going to run those like we did last year. And then we've got some new patterns. We've got 2 project videos that'll hit the website and hit our YouTube channel either next week or that weekend. I don't know exactly when they're going to post. We're making sure that we get the printed patterns here first, so that way when you watch the video, if you want to go ahead and grab the pattern, you can. But we'll post those. Just kind of keep an eye on the YouTube channel, keep an eye on our social media, and we'll try to post that as soon as we can. Like I said, we're trying to get those all finalized. With it being the beginning of Black Friday, a lot of our suppliers and stuff, they're busy too, just because this is a busy time of year. We're getting to Christmas season, so we're just trying to make sure we got all our ducks in a row. We've got things for you, so that weekend you can get what you need. And then as far as those new patterns, the printed version, we'll probably do those somewhere around 15% off, just because they're brand new. We just put them out there, so we're not going to dock those as much, discount those as much as we do some of our other stuff. And then the digital version of those patterns for those of you overseas, or those of you that have a printer locally there that you can deal with and you just rather buy the digital file, those may be a little bit more off than the printed ones. We've also got a bunch of new merchandise. Claudia has had a bunch of new hoodies and sweatshirts made like she did last year, but a lot of these are using some of the new images that we debuted at Waco this year. So the leather byproduct steak image, that image is going to be on some hoodies and some sweatshirts. We've already got them all. I don't know what all is in the boxes. She went through and did inventory earlier this week, and so I've got a list, and I've got to do photos and get them all on the website and that kind of thing. And then I think she did some of the created to create image, and of course our maker stamp logo and things like that. So she's got a bunch of those. I think she's got some new colors and caps as well, and a bunch of refills for some of the caps. We were out of some of those, and I believe some t-shirts as well. So the merchandise, like I said, there will be some discounts on some of the clothing as far as the t-shirts and things like that. I'm not sure the new products that she got. I know with everything else, and we'll talk about that in a minute too, that with everything we're all used to, at least this time of our season here where we are, a lot of things are going up. Everything everything's going up and all that. So we've got to be sure on the merchandise that, because I haven't actually seen the invoice yet to see exactly what we're paying per item and things like that. But like our older shirts, we've got a lot of the DG logo shirts that we may run a little discount on those, run some discounts on the like the leather graphic that we do, and maybe the cow shirts. We've still got quite a few of those that we can possibly do something neat on there, and some specials on that. Also, as far as the Academy, we will be running some specials on the 2 courses that we have available in the Academy. We have 2 courses in there available. One of them just came out this year, which is our full tooling course. It takes you through all of the processes and talks about all the tools, talks about your bench, your lighting, casing your leather, actually tooling your leather. In that course, you also tool 5 panels, little square panels. It walks you through tooling all of those. It's been a really good course. It came out early this spring, and we had a great response to that course. Everybody that's gone through it has really enjoyed it. We've gotten great feedback. So for the Black Friday sale, we will be running that course on sale. The first course that we have on there is a drawing course. That course has been out for a number of years, and it's been a very popular course as well. And that course we've traditionally put at 50% off every Black Friday, and so for the last couple of years anyway. And so this year we're going to do that one at 50% off. The tooling course, we're going to offer it at about 35% off. That one there, we'll mark it down. It's a really good savings. We're not going to do it quite at 50% just because it is still kind of new, and I think the value is still there, but it will have a significant discount to it as well. Like I said, it'll be right around 35% off, so you can certainly go on there and enroll in that. If you haven't taken either one of those courses, I think it's a really great opportunity to enroll in both of them, save some money, and then you've got both the drawing course that teaches you how to actually draw and lay out floral tooling patterns and begin to build that foundation so that you can design your own patterns for your tooling projects, as well as then enrolling in the tooling course, which will walk you through everything you need to know about getting started and getting a good foundation as well for your tooling bench and for your tooling skill set. If you want to take the opportunity to go ahead and enroll in one or both of those courses, it's a great opportunity to do that next weekend during the Black Friday sale. Real quick, before we get into showing you one of these new products here that we'll have available next weekend, I do want to touch on leather pricing, so material packs and things. We have been kind of trying to ignore how much the leather has gone up as far as our footage price on what we're paying from the tannery for leather. And so, you know, it's gone up here and there. You know, I've had a couple of increases and things, which is understandable. Everything else is, you know, on the rise, and that's just where we are right now. And so we've got to adjust and deal with it. But we haven't raised any of the prices on material packs. I think we had one little price increase on a few of them earlier in the year, just because we were off on our end, not really realizing how much we had in them on some of those shape cut ones like the gunslings and a couple of the blemish belt things, I think. But we got on this last shipment, I ran some numbers and saw what we were kind of paying now for leather, and just trying to prepare for next year. I'm just letting everybody know that we will have a price increase more than likely on many of the material packs. I've run the numbers on some of the smaller ones like the knife sheaths, the wallets, things like that. I don't foresee those changing much, if any, just because that's where I'm cutting those pieces and how I can get those pieces. They're actually an advantage to me to be able to get rid of smaller pieces of scrap leather that I use in the shop, but I don't, with me cutting belts and gunslings and guitar straps, that gives me way more scrap leather than I need in a shop this size. So it gives me a good opportunity to get rid of those. So those I foresee they're probably fine where they are, but they may have to have $1 or $2 here or there. We just have to kind of run the math and look at them. But I will say on belt material packs, gunslings, and the guitar straps, those big long prime pieces of leather that we cut out of a brand new hide of leather, we're probably going to have a price increase on those. That will not go into effect until January for 2023. We're going to hold the prices where they are and just take it as it is, because I don't want to change the prices this close to the sale. If I was going to do that, it needed to be earlier this year, and we held where we were, hoping that maybe they would level off. And they're not crazy. Leather prices haven't gotten completely out of hand or anything like that. They've just gone up some to where we have to kind of be careful and make sure that when we sell something for $20, that we're actually making making something on that so that we can keep it going. Without profit, it doesn't keep going very long. So you just got to be sure that that's the case. So just wanted to bring it to your attention and let you know. You probably may have noticed that already buying other stuff or buying your own hides, that leather is up a little bit from where it was last year. And so just wanted to kind of keep everybody in the loop and just let you know, first of the year, some of those prices may change. Like I said, I don't see all of them changing, but some of them will have to change. I think it's still going to be feasible for you if you're, like I said, if you're a smaller shop or if you just don't want to keep and store that much leather for making belts. The belt material packs are still a great option. It fixes your cost for the project, so you know what it is. It doesn't change. If you need to build 5 belts, so you can buy 5 of those. And you don't have all this scrap leather. Now you've got to try to do something with it to get the rest of your money out of it. So I think they're still viable. I think they're still going to be great. They're not going from $45 to $120. Don't worry about that. It's just they may change a little just to compensate and make sure that we're going to be okay on there. But yes, that won't change. As far as the discounts that weekend on the material packs, I don't know yet. Until I do inventory and kind of see where I'm at, I'm going to try to put together some cool little package deals that'll be on the From the Cut Bench page. So be sure and check that page out that weekend. I'll be here that weekend. Next week, this weekend I won't. I've got 2 cow shows, one Saturday, one Sunday. So it's going to be a really busy weekend this weekend for us as a family. So we're going to be out and about doing that. So don't expect a lot going on in the shop over this weekend. But next weekend after Thanksgiving, we'll be around. We're not going anywhere. We're going to spend Thanksgiving with our family here, and then we'll get the sale started, and we'll be in the shop Friday. And through the weekend, I'll be out and about and just monitoring things. So if you have an issue, if you purchase something, or if you get some buy some patterns and your digital downloads and you can't find whatever, if you do, just email us and we'll help you wherever we can. I will be around. I will be checking the email, monitoring the sale, and making sure that everything's running as smoothly as possible. But as far as the discounts on the material packs, like I said, it's just going to be kind of individual basis. If I put together this group of things right here, I'll price it out, then we may give it a little discount there or whatever. I don't have a set amount that every material pack is going to be discounted. I went back and looked at our file on last year's Black Friday. We didn't have any discounts on the premium belt material packs, I don't believe. I think maybe on the blemish ones we did. I don't think we even had gunslings or guitar straps available last year because we weren't doing those, I don't think, until this year. So this year we got a lot more options for those, and so we'll just kind of, like I said, I'm already cutting. I just got to do inventory and then do some work, see how many of everything I have, and then we'll go from there. But we've been kind of holding the inventory back and not putting it on the website just because we're so close to the sale. Might as well just wait until that weekend. That way everybody has the opportunity to get what they need. But that's that on material packs and discounts. Real quick on the discounts, everything will be marked down on the website. So you won't have to have a coupon code or do anything like that. If you go into the academy and you want to enroll in the courses, the prices will drop that night of Black Friday when the sale starts. Those prices will change, and so they'll automatically be marked down. If you want to do it, you can do it. You don't need a coupon code. You don't need anything like that. I would say you might want to sign up for the Leathercraft newsletter. If you haven't already, you can do that at our website at dgsaddlery.com. Get signed up for that. That might be helpful. And also, too, you would have known about, if you haven't done that, you would have had access to the early release of our DG Leathercraft belt jig. It's an acrylic template. We're calling it a jig because that's what I've always called it. But basically what I did was, let me grab mine. I have, basically what we did is we've done a video on how to taper a belt, and I've actually done it on YouTube, done that, and there's actually a free PDF that shows you how to make a jig so that you can get the taper portion where the taper begins. You can get those even on the person when they're wearing it. You have to center those up much like you do a name in the back of the belt or anything like that. You've got to get those centered, and that's centered by the belt size, not the actual cut belt blank, okay? That's where a lot of people go wrong. But anyway, we did a video showing that. It's an older video. We did it way back when. And this is something I made years ago, but it's just a little jig that I made. And I made one for a 1-inch taper as well. What we decided to do, we got a lot of people asking if we make any kind of acrylic templates or patterns or anything like that. We don't. But now we're gonna go ahead and try it. We made a belt jig that is basically has all the information that's on my jig plus a little bit of extra information that we'll go over, but I had that made into a one-piece jig that'll do both ends. So it'll make the tapered, this one here tapers 1.5 inch belt down to a 1 inch. So it tells you where to mark, so you can cut your belt strip the length that you need it based on the person's size. And you take your belt jig and on the buckle end, you put it on that end, line it up, trace off your taper, your holes, hole placement, and your slot for your buckle. And then on the billet end or the hole end, you slide it down to that end, mark your taper, and then mark your holes if you need to. And that's going to put the tapers exactly where they need to be, so that when the person's wearing the belt, as long as you cut it the right length for the person's size, the tapers will be even and centered on the person's body. You won't have one off to the right and one off to the left, which is it's a frustrating thing when I was starting to do taper belts. It was frustrating trying to learn how to get that centered. And then we also have one, we offer 2 of them. This one's the 1.5 taper to 1 inch. This one is the 1.75 inch tapered to 1.5 inch. So this one basically is 2 jigs in one. If you're just doing 1.5 inch belt and you just want to have the placement of the snaps and the slot, and then your holes on this end and your tip, if you're hand cutting your tips, then this will work fine for 1.5 inch. But if you are making some 1.75 inch belts and you want to tape, you need to taper those to 1.5 inch so they'll fit a standard buckle. 1.75 inch belt will fit through almost every belt loop on any jeans out there, but very few buckles are 1.75 inch as far as belt buckles. So you're going to want to always taper your 1.75 inch belts. 1.75 inch belts are nice because they give you a lot more tooling space. Some people like how they feel a little bit better. They're a little wider. But that's what this jig will do. It will do the same thing as this one does. It'll put the tapers where they need to be so that belt is centered. Some other information that are on these jigs is I've got in here, just kind of inscribed in here, is the length of the tip that I use. I use a 7-inch tip, so from center hole to here, it shows you that on where your actual tip length is measured. And it also makes a note here that if you want to change the length of the tip of your belt, because maybe somebody wants it out a little further because you're using 3 initials on the tip, or maybe they just want it past a certain belt loop, you can add 1 inch to this distance here. So it'll show you where to add. You don't add it to the length of it, you just add it out to here, and you keep your hole placement the same. And then it also has a little notation here that will show you if you're trying to center a name on a belt, or even find center so that then you can space out some conchos, which is the way, if you're going to do conchos, I'd always start in the middle and find your center point and then space out accordingly left and right. That'll keep those even on the person as they wear them. But anyway, it just kind of shows you where that measurement is actually taken from, which is from the center of your bag slot or the middle of your bend to the center hole. And if the belt fits correctly, that will be center. Half of that distance will be center of the belt, so right in the middle of the back. So it just kind of has those notes on there just to kind of remind you. I think it's a really neat tool. I think it's a good jig, but we launched it out to the newsletter, and we had a certain amount of them made. We launched it out to the newsletter first, gave them first opportunity, was going to put them on the website early and put them on today, but they sold out. So the newsletter purchased every one of them. We've got more being made, and so they will be here next week before the sale, and we will get those on the website that weekend, so you will have an opportunity to get one of these. We're selling these for $18.95 a piece, or both of them, if you want both of them, for $30. And so you can kind of choose on that. Be sure to choose the one you want, because like I said, there's 2 different sizes. So when you go to look at the product page, whenever it is up on the website, when that happens, you'll be able to, there's a toggle there. You can get the 1.5 tapered to 1 inch, 1.75 tapered to 1.5 inch, or both of them if you want to just go ahead and have both of them. One quick note. When you get these, this is our first acrylic, so we don't have a lot of experience with these. I have a few that I've gotten from Aaron and stuff, but I don't have a lot of acrylic patterns. But they come with this paper on the back. It's just on the material, I think, when they cut them. You can peel that right off, and then once you peel it off, you can actually see through this. We chose this color. Claudia liked it because it was close to teal or turquoise. That's one of her favorite colors, and so I think it looks really neat. But you can also see through it. So if you're working on a belt or whatever and you need to see through it for some reason, or you're just trying to kind of make sure you got everything lined up, you can do that with these. They're not super opaque. They're a little bit more translucent. So, but anyway, we're real excited about that. I want to thank everybody on the newsletter who went ahead and grabbed a pair of these or one of these, and went ahead and got theirs. And so we're real excited on how well they did. There may be some more jigs coming up next year. This was, like I said, our first little wade into the pool of acrylics. I've got some other ideas for just some other ideas for some other patterns. I don't know that I'll ever do our patterns as far as like our, an actual that you cut out, for making a wallet or whatever. I'm not sure if we'll ever do those. I'm not saying I won't, but right now my main focus is on bench jigs that will make your life easier working on your project. So I have a bunch that are like saddle jigs that I've made that I use on a daily basis for centering things or marking things or whatever, that may be helpful for you for building saddles. I've also got a lot of them for just, belt making, head stalls, making head stalls and things like that, tack and gear. If you'll create jigs, whether you buy mine or make your own, if you'll make jigs for different things and just hang them up, you've got references there, and then you don't have to, that's a repeatable step. You just need a jig so that you don't have to remeasure and refit, and then how far down did I put those set of holes, or where did I put the rivet here on this. Make a jig, even if it's out of poster board, but make something so that you've got a reference for that. That's where that came from. And that's what we're hoping to kind of teach y'all and kind of help y'all with that through some of the ones that we may be creating next year. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, belt jigs will be on the website next weekend for the sale. Got a lot of stuff coming on in the sale. I think it's going to be a good time, a fun weekend. And like I said, I hope that you enjoy the products that we have on there. Hopefully we've got enough material packs. I know last year we ran out pretty quickly on some of them. I've got quite a bit of leather, so I'm hoping that we don't... I'm hoping that we have plenty for everybody that needs what they need for their Christmas projects, or just want to get in early and save a little bit and get what they need for their deal. If you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen we've posted pictures of a rifle scabbard. We posted pictures, so that's coming. We posted pictures of a little purse that we made. That's actually what we're calling a crossbody fanny pack style purse. Fanny packs apparently are coming back. Who'd have thought that? I've seen a few craftsmen making a few versions of fanny pack style purses and things. Claudia had one. Some of her friends have some that they had just found and bought, and she wanted one out of leather, but they carry them, across their body here. And for a mom, with young kids and stuff, it seems really handy because they got their hands free to help a kid and do things. And, they don't need a big bag that they're lugging around with them, but they do need their essentials, their phone, the wallet, keys, whatever in there. And so those things seem to be pretty popular. I've seen them around quite a bit. And so we went ahead and designed one. That's what that is on Instagram, and there is a video. It's actually almost done and waiting on the patterns to get here. So that one will come out too as well for next weekend, if not a little sooner. Me and Claudia are kind of in a little bit of a standoff here. She wants to wait until next weekend. I want to just go ahead and post them so they're off my list. Maybe I'll post them. I don't know. But anyway, we're close. So we're getting close. I really appreciate you guys watching the Monday briefings and hanging with us all this year. Once we get through the sale, then we'll be on a fast course to Christmas. And so we've got some stuff we've got to do for Christmas. Got some saddles I need to get done before the end of the year. So we're trying to juggle all of this. I'm sure you're busy right now as well. And so we want to be sure and make as many videos as we can by the end of the year, and be here to help you any way we can to hopefully help you have a great Christmas as well and get all your work done so you're not there Christmas Eve. But most importantly, next week's Thanksgiving. It's going to be a good week. Hopefully get some time off. If you're working and you get that week off, maybe get the whole week, maybe just get the end of the week. We hope that you enjoy your time with your family. We will talk to you before then. We'll talk to you first part of next week. We'll get another Monday video out, maybe a few updates on some of the stuff that's going on in the shop as far as for the sale. But I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see y'all next week in the Monday morning briefing.